what we want to do is we want to set up our templates so it's got CPT codes. We want to set up our lab order so it has CPT codes. We want to make sure we assign a diagnosis to this template. Okay, so it brings these forward for us automatically. I didn't do that. Shame on me. Okay, but in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to indicate what we did for the patient. Okay, and you'll notice is as we check these off or as we select these from the chart items, it will populate down here in the super bill. Now I am intentionally going to try to sign off in this super bill without attaching my diagnosis. And I'm going to show you what happens. You can't do this with paper. You can only do it with a computer. So I'm going to try signing off on this, and you'll notice the system comes up and it says we have a problem signing the items. Each procedure must have at least one diagnosis to be assigned. So I know you probably have the case now where you've been in a hurry, you've turned a super bill, and then what happens? Your billing person has to track you down to go, what was the diagnosis you meant, or what have you. So by capturing this and making this data clean at the point of care, okay, you remember, oh, it's the right breast mass or whatever it is. Okay. So now we would go ahead and we would indicate what exactly it was that for this particular patient. I don't see the breast mass on here. I could certainly go in, and if it's not one that's on my normal pick list, I could go ahead and find the diagnosis. It will actually give me the code. So I'll just type in breast. I think we had found one. Okay, so let's say there was a, whatever it is, breast mass. Okay? You would obviously you would pick the one that's the right diagnosis for this time. You notice how it put the diagnosis here across from the CPT codes? If we had more than one diagnosis, we could put up to 4. Okay. Also, if you have one procedure as one for one diagnosis and you did something else to the patient that was for another diagnosis, you can associate right here which diagnosis is for which procedure. Okay? So now I am going to sign off on it. And what I might also do, let's just go back to this chart. We probably want this patient to come in again, right? By the way, this is the note that we just did. Recall? Okay. We want to set an appointment for this patient because she's walking out, right? Now, how do you normally set the appointment? Do you actually, would the doctors like to set the return visit? No. Yes? Okay. Well, we have the ability for the doctors to set the appointment. You're supposed to say no. If the doctor wants to set the appointment, we actually have an icon here with a little clock where we can do new appointment, and we could search for the next available. What are they going to come for? We're going to do a follow-up visit with a particular provider, and we want them to come back in somewhere in about 5 days, right? Do a search, and the system will actually find all the available appointments that have been created. I didn't come up with any because I didn't have that. I don't have that particular type set up in my template. Okay. No, you have to search on something. Okay. So now it's going to. It would find him here, bring up the appointment, and I can schedule right from here. If you don't want to schedule the appointment yourself, what you would probably do is you would just take this breast exam. You're going to route a message. I would send it in this case to my front desk. Okay. And the action type would be make an appointment, which we need to probably put in here. And we'd go, make appointment. Now, I send this off. Changing chairs. I'm back. Okay, notice. I'm the lady at the front desk. I go into my messages. It says make appointment. This came to me, right? I come up here and I go, what was sent to me? It was the note. At the bottom of the note, it says, return in 5 days. You can't read that here, but I can read it. It says return in 5 days. The reason it's grayed is because it's dull. You just can't see it here. It says return in 5 days. Okay? So I didn't have to say anything. I just sent the note to her. And that return in 5 days. So she's going to make the appointment now. 5 days. Pardon? Well, it's my nurse. Okay. I'm gonna do the follow-up work with the PM now, and I'm going to stop recording because it's another